Welcome back, everybody. My name is All Funny Games. I stream every day on Twitch TV, and I also stream on YouTube. That's right, I started streaming DST on YouTube specifically, but also other games as well in the future, so stay tuned for that. Now, today we're going to be talking about an easy way of getting souls that, of course, obviously is nowhere similar to my last one where I showcased how Abigail will drop a soul. Not an ideal way of actually getting yourself some souls, but, you know, I just thought I'd showcase it because it's kind of funny. But let's actually showcase a real way, a real easy way of actually getting yourself souls as Wortox, as long as you have a Wormwood with you. So first things first, you're going to want to have Wormwood rip off their arm to get you a Bramble Husk and make yourself one-hit Bramble Husk. I have like 50 million in my inventory. And you're going to go up to a bee box, and I'm going to put down some light here so it's not difficult to see. Now, there's a few ways around this, and I'm going to showcase each individual way just because a few people have had questions about this. And of course, I'll talk briefly about different ways of doing it. So you can have the Bramble Husk, and you can use it for multiple different things, not just on bees. Of course, as Wortox, anything that is living will drop a soul. So of course, you can make a little butterfly farm. The problem with butterflies is sometimes they don't give you enough, and you have to wait for them to spawn. And really, it's kind of like a tight squeeze if you have a limited time in order to teleport around areas. So how do we go about getting basically souls very quickly without having to worry too much? And that's where Beehives come in. Of course, I've placed down a Fling-O-Matic because there's more than one way of doing this, and we'll go ahead and showcase it. So I'm going to go through step by step. So essentially, whenever the bees are out, so say they're flying around, of course you can go up to them and freely punch them. But sometimes at nighttime, or obviously whenever the bees decide to sleep, they're going to be stuck inside the beehive. So unarmed attacks on the beehive is probably your best bet. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to go up to the beehive and you're going to punch them. You're going to punch the beehive, but you're going to cause 10 damage when doing so. The bees are automatically going to turn into killer bees, which means that you can't actually harvest them for, if you plan on taking them to transport them into an actual, bee box, but nonetheless, they will be dropping you souls. So that is one way of doing it. And of course, if bees that are from another beehive close by see you doing this, they're obviously going to take you on and try to defeat you as well. But luckily, your awesome little Bramble Husk is going to do the work for you. So even if you technically did this and you started to go AFK or dinner was ready and you had to run away for a second, your Bramble Husk is going to keep you nice and secure. The problem with this is that of course you're going to be doing damage to the beehive. So essentially you're doing 10 damage, so you're going to get about 20 hits before it's going to break. Well, this is where none other than spider glands come in. So you take your spider gland and of course you could heal. So yes, you could heal it back to 100%. So this thing will never essentially go bad. Now, of course, there are other ways of getting easy souls and blah, 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 blah. And, obviously, if you go up to a bunch of spiders and you have a Bramble Husk on, you're also in it to win it too. The problem with spiders are, when they do attack you, they will be doing a lot more damage than a bee does, which is essentially 10 damage per hit, versus if you get a guardian spider or, even a spider queen or whatever decides to attack you, you're kind of in a little bit more trouble. Of course, frogs are close by too, and those are also an easy way of doing it, but the problem with frogs is they're going to disarm everything in your inventory, so essentially bees are probably the easiest way, especially if you use this bee trick where you repair the actual beehive after. Now, there are other ways around this, which are a little bit finicky to do, but basically you can turn on the Fling-O-Matic. You can go ahead and you can light the bee box on fire. The Fling-O-Matic will react in time and possibly cause less damage than you would if you were actually hitting it. But more times than none, you're not going to do too much damage. The bee will freeze in place, giving you enough time to actually attack it away from the hive. So, because keep in mind, if I'm actually attacking it close to here, the Bramble Husk will do damage to the beehive too. The bonus about freezing them like that is when they come out, you're actually doing natural damage to the beehive, so you're causing natural bees to actually come out. So that is the one bonus of actually triggering it with a torch, is you're able to then capture the bees to use them for an actual beehive or bee box. So there's a pros and cons to each of them, but nonetheless, you can still repair them as long as you haven't damaged them too much. So yes, essentially spider glands are your #1 healing recipe for anything that's around you. But just keep this momentum going if you want to get some easy souls. I do it all the time when I'm on a run, and then as long as I just remember to go back and repair them with spider glands, I'm usually okay. Sometimes I forget about it, but guess what? In some worlds, there's areas that have so many crazy amount of beehives just like littered everywhere, so don't worry about it too much. And sometimes you'll even get lucky and find yourself and a killer bee biome. I didn't get one in this world, but if you do, you pretty much can have as many souls as you want as long as you know what you're doing. But yeah, that's an easy way of getting souls. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next one.